Continuing on the program today, some of the highlights from the just concluded 56th Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association. The Annual General Conference provides an opportunity for members of the bar and the bench to gather together to push forward the frontiers of the law, advance the cause of the administration of justice, and reaffirm their collective commitment to the enthronement of the rule of law in the country. It's for these reasons and more that they gathered in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, from the 19th to the 26th of August. The host governor, Nyesom Wike, welcomed the lawyers at the opening ceremony.
Now, as I look across this August gathering with pride and satisfaction, so much crosses my mind. First, it's a rare privilege and honor to chair the local organizing committee of this all-important general meeting and to address such critical segments of the Nigerian society. Lawyers, magistrates, judges, academicians, business moguls, and administrators all bonded together as distinguished members of the legal profession. Our Constitution provides and guarantees fundamental democratic latitudes. However, constitutional guarantees, no matter how progressive, are barely a collection of words. It is the government, nay, a responsible government, and the people that will make them effective to affect positive economic, social, and political outcomes. And so, the mere fact that we are now a democracy would not translate to economic prosperity without war. This must be coupled with a practicable vision driven by viable policies, targeted investment, and trade, which in turn must be supported by appropriate economic incentives such as legal protection of business and property rights, adequate public infrastructure, and security of lives and property. Thus, while the correlation between democracy and economic development is strong, the missing link in relation to Nigeria lies more in our inability to leverage on a democratic system and its value to drive economic development through a synergetic partnership and shared responsibilities between governments at all levels and the private sector. Time was when the NDA not only acted at the conscience of the nation, never afraid to take principled positions on critical national issues, and never tired of fighting to entrench the rule of law, judicial independence, electoral reforms, and public accountability. Therefore, at a time when trust in our democratic institutions, including the National Assembly, the justice system, and even the legal profession, has been shaken, I need to remind you that their roles as members of the NBA, as officers of the court, and as stewards of the law and justice is more important now than before.
The current economic realities in the country provides a good opportunity for the lawyers to examine the relationship between the economic development and the sustenance and deepening of the country's democracy. And so, the theme for the conference was aptly tagged Democracy and Economic Development. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami SAN, asked for the support of the lawyers to chart a new direction for the country.
As our country navigates the present economic challenges, there is a need for all stakeholders, including the Nigerian Bar Association, to support the efforts of the federal government in charting a new course for our country anchored on principles of integrity and accountability in the management of public resources, the safety and security of our people, and economic prosperity of our land inclusive. Lawyers can contribute to these core objectives by promoting respect for the rule of law and putting the country above self-interest and the advice they give to their clients for the services they render to them because of their duties.
This is one of the last official duties of the 27th President of the Nigerian Bar Association. In his opening address to participants here, Augustine Alege SAN called out the bench on the issue of the conflicting judgments coming out from the courts. He asked the leadership of the bench to restore sanity to the Nigerian legal system.
But on behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association and on behalf of all our able-bodied lawyers who we have borrowed to the judiciary, we want to say that the entire legal community is scandalized and embarrassed by the spate of conflicting judgments on similar matters around common courts. This is totally avoidable, it is uncalled for, and we call on the NJC, my lord the CJN, who I know does not tolerate this, the CJ of the Federal High Court, to please look into this matter as quickly as possible. It is a shame, it is an embarrassment, and it diminishes our position as lawyers in this country.
The keynote speaker at the conference is the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federal Republic of Rwanda. Rwanda is currently rated as the fastest growing economy, even though a few years back, the country was ravaged by war and genocide. The country's Attorney General attributes the astonishing recovery and current economic realities to the resolve of the Rwandan people to move their country forward.
22 years ago, Rwanda's very survival was at stake and everything was a priority. We figured it out by doing it because we had no choice. Help took years to come and was not appropriate when it came. We had to start with our own resources and ideas, and in fact, our desire to get out of the mess and chaos our country was in. This taught us some important things. You do not need to have all the answers or all the funds to get started. Constantly assess and correct your course, but don't wait for perfection or rescue. That is what my president sums our journey as. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, 22 years ago we were thrown into a very dark and frightening reality. What had been for decades mere rhetoric of hate by one against another part of the population became 100 days of slaughter. No Tutsi or perceived Tutsi had the right to survive, not men, not women, not children, not even the unborn. More than 1 million lives were lost. They were killed in broad daylight. The killing was done as ordinary daily work. It was done with home and farm implements such as hoes, pangas, and machetes. It was done by neighbors, not by people that didn't know each other. Constant rape against our women was one of the cruelest forms of the genocide. Cable television beamed this daily. The international community would come in. The genocide broke everything down. The economy was broken and was broke. The people were broken. Infrastructure broken. I invite you to take a moment and ponder this kind of situation.
The leadership of the bar has urged Nigerians to learn from the Rwandan story of unity, hope, and determination. After the opening ceremony, the conference broke into sessions. There were showcase and other parallel sessions which dwelt on topical issues of diversification and growing Nigeria's economy beyond oil and gas to issues of the legislature and the executive in the budgeting process. The conference also examined issues of the state of the administration of criminal justice in the country and issues of security.